Muse, our special live episode. We haven't done a live for quite some time, so it's good to be here speaking to you in the flesh. So if you'd like to comment or say hello or contribute to any of our discussions, please do so. So I'm Lisa.
I'm Kel.
Who else have we got?
I'm Abikanile.
Abikanile. And
hey, Stephen Ireland, thank you.
Brilliant. Welcome to the show, everyone, and thanks to you two for joining us this evening. I know doing a live is a bit of an ask at the end of the working day, but anyway, here you are.
It's a risk, is what it is. It's not an ask; it's a risk.
For you girls, not for me. I'm quite happy to be inappropriate, so it's all on you now. So,
do you want to explain what Muse on the News is to anybody listening for the first time?
Muse on the News is our topical news show where we all select an item of news, generally from the queer press, and we discuss them and we muse on them. So, hence the title. So, yeah. Good fun.
Yes, indeed it is. Right, who's first?
So today's first article has been picked by the beautiful Abby, and I'm just going to get this up on screen and you can tell us a little bit about it, Abby.
Right. So yes, I was trying to pick something today that was obviously current, but that had something more positive to talk about, because we are going through such a difficult time and it seems to be dragging on, and we hear so many bad news that when I spotted this article, I instantly had a smile on my face, because it's very close to my heart. I'm a mom and I understand, so many couples out there wish to have children and can't. And to see that a same-sex couple was finally allowed in Croatia to have the same rights as a heterosexual couple to adopt a child. And it was an ordeal for them because they waited for 5 years, and it was 5 years ago they were not able to. But they could prove that, there is no difference there. They are a stable couple, loving couple who just wanted to adopt. So I think the first thing that was granted to them was the ability to foster, and then later on to adopt. And so I thought it was such a lovely article, and it just brings me joy, because I think every day there is a barrier that is broken when something like that happens. And, for every time that something horrible happens, there's something good to counteract. And that is one of them.
Absolutely. The world is becoming a more tolerant place, isn't it? A more accepting place. And, for a place like Croatia to now be, to set that precedent now to lots and lots of gay couples, I think is absolutely fantastic. Europe is coming on leaps and bounds, isn't it, with the rights that they're affording our community.
Some parts.
Most parts, actually.
Okay.
Most parts. Do we not think so? What do you think, Steve?
Well, I think it's a great thing to be happening in Croatia. Obviously, here in Surrey, we've got a fantastic fostering and adoption team. And those that may be watching right now and interested in fostering or adopting, head over to surreycc.gov.uk. We'll be posting that link on our social media channels. There we go, shameless plug. But it's really important, because at the end of the day, anybody should be able to provide a loving home to a child that needs it, right? And, these children, unaccompanied asylum seekers, for instance, that have come here to seek refuge from very difficult and challenging times where they were back home. Of course, they want to be brought into the world and they want to be given the best opportunities. And if you are looking to build a family as an LGBTQ plus person, it's a fantastic way to just kind of move forward with your life. And the best thing about it as well is that you don't actually have to be a couple either. You can be a single parent and provide a loving home to a child, and that's ultimately what they're looking for.
Absolutely. There's lots of kids out there looking for good, solid, stable, loving homes, and there's lots of couples and, as you say, single people that are able and willing and desperate to be able to provide those homes.
I think it's a big step forward in Croatia. I love Croatia. We had a lovely holiday there. We have spoken about it on Muse on the News before, so I won't bore you again, but we had a fantastic holiday there and felt that it was nothing but inclusive and accepting. It was really, really lovely. So it's really, really great to see this. But just picking up on what you said, Steve, absolutely, there's brilliant support for anybody in Surrey who's interested in fostering or adoption. And we've spoken to the ladies from the fostering and adoption team teams. They are absolutely brilliant, and they do a monthly information session, and you can join in by Zoom, so it's really easy and convenient. So there you go. Steve's put the link up there, so please do get in touch with them if you'd like to find out more information. And we know foster carers ourselves, and they have positive things to say about Surrey. It's a challenging thing, but please do, if you're interested in it at all, please do go and find out some more information. Nothing to lose by finding out info, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the first step.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Lovely positive news story there. Thanks for bringing that one, Abby.
Have either of you been to Croatia before?
No, I would absolutely love to go there. I haven't been yet, but yeah, that's one destination I would really want to go at some point.
It's gorgeous.
It's really gorgeous. We went to Dubrovnik, and there's a real mix of sort of old and new there, and it's just so beautiful by the sea. We were talking about it only last night, weren't we?
Oh, I'd go back every year if I could. And it was one of those places where, you know, sometimes you go on holiday and you feel a little bit out of place, but yet we didn't there. We felt completely accepted. Nobody was anything but lovely to us, and we weren't, you know, picked out for being a gay couple at all. So yeah, a nice welcoming and friendly place to holiday, actually.
Indeed. Before we move on to the next story, Jason Plimmer's joined us, and I think he's a bit confused. He's asked us what we're cooking. That was last night, Jason. Last night, love.
You watched it, Jason.
You did. You were there. We cooked garlic mushroom pasta, and it was really, really delicious. Really.
Mushrooms. Oh, no.
Oh, different kinds of mushrooms.
Yeah.
Love
it was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
All the types.
It's
But Jason is going to join us in a couple of weeks' time, so he'll be around for the next cook along. Oh, he's giggling now.
Funny man.
Right.
Should we move on to Steve's story?
Yes, please do.
Stephen's got the story of the day, really, with this one.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
Story of the day. We should have a jingle, shouldn't we? Right, Alan Turing's note. Yeah, let's do one. Right, Alan Turing's £50 note meant for the LGBT community has now launched, and it's launched. His birthday. It's today, his birthday. He would have been how old? Because I'm
109.
112 he was born, and he died on the 7th of June in 1954. Now, if you're wondering who Alan Turing is, he is a famous individual, of course, and is part of the LGBTQ plus community here in Surrey. Turing was most notable known as a computer scientist. In 1936, he developed the idea of the universal Turing machine, the basis for the first computer, and he developed a test for artificial intelligence in 1950, which is still used today. And he's been kind of called out as really an unsung hero of the war back then. An absolute fantastic man, but obviously he was unfortunately be put onto conversion therapy, and he had to go through all that conversion therapy and things, and unfortunately through that he lost his life. So it was great that the government kind of gave him, and the Bank of England gave him that nod by giving him the £50 note. Not that I've seen a £50 note for probably
no.
I might get one just to frame it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is a hugely positive thing, I think, for our community to have Alan Turing honoured in this way. But I think, you know, we can't ever forget that he had to be posthumously pardoned because he was convicted for being a gay man. So, you know, it was, you know, he had a very, very difficult time. And that conviction led to him not being able to continue his work because he lost his security clearance. And who knows what he might have brought to the world had he been allowed to carry on.
Well, this is it, isn't it? You know, the government convicted him of homosexuality in 1952. He was chemically castrated as a result of that to secure an early release. As Lisa said, he lost his security clearance, so he was unable to work for the government anymore. So all that incredible work, everything that he could have contributed to our country, he was unable to do purely because of his sexuality and how that was perceived in the day. And he didn't get his posthumous pardon until 2012. You know, we didn't even know everything this man had done for us until 20 years after he had died, because it was classified information. And, you know, and although, yes, we should be singing from the rooftops that he's now on a £50 note, I just think it's such a shame that we have to wait, you know, 70 years after we have to chemically castrate a man for being gay before we can recognise him and celebrate his life in such a way publicly. I really wish he'd known during his lifetime how important he was to the world and everything he did, and how much we appreciate that. That's my one wish, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Very well said. Here.
What was that, Steve?
I said here. Yeah, well, very well said.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, as people in Surrey, we're very, very proud of him. You know, we're very proud that he came from this county. We're proud that he's honoured with a statue. I'm sure the people of Guildford, where he lived for quite a long time, are, you know, very proud to have had him as one of their residents. And you know, I just, you know, it's a hugely positive thing. I'm so glad it's happened, but I just think, as with everything, we can never forget. We can never forget history. And actually, you did a very interesting interview, didn't you? With
I did, yeah, with a television
Di.
channel, yeah.
No,
with Di, with Di. Di Stiff from the Surrey History Channel knows everything there is to know about Alan Turing. So get over onto their website and check out some of our later content that we did for History Month, and you can find everything you need to know about the guy there. But really fantastic. And I just want to make one more point before I shut up and let Abby speak. Is that I've completely forgotten.
Oh no! It's so nice to hear you girls chat. I'm just being like a very happy listener here. What I have to say is that often legacies are left by people who don't realize their their greatness. And they just live the life being truthful to who they are. And later on, they're recognized for being that. And it is a shame, but it is also a joy, because that's what we need to remember. That is a legacy left. And even though we could have been even greater, even more, but it is, you know, something that we won't forget, and we won't leave story behind us. You know, this is going to be carried out throughout the decades, and people later on in life will absolutely know about him and about so many more who paved the way for all of them. You know, so I think it's wonderful, and for me it's this realization that people are, you know, incredible in so many ways, and it doesn't matter, you know, where they come from, what is the background, or anything. It's all part of one big community, and this, you know, is something that I'm really proud of. I know, you know, now I feel part of the family, and to know that what everybody stands for here is for a place where equality rules, and where everybody has a chance to be exactly who they want to be. It just shows that this community embraces everybody and everyone and everything, you know. And if the world was a little bit more like this, things would be so much easier. So thank you for embracing me. So,
Of course. If I could just go back, because I've remembered now what I was going to say. So the nice thing about this note is the fact that he's coming onto this note by way of popular vote, and the British people voted for him to be on this note. So I think that shows us how far we've come in the last 50 years in terms of acceptance, and in terms of how we view people and their contribution to the world, regardless of who they may love.
That's, you know, and I find being you know, a foreigner in this country, but at the same time, I have my heart set here. I am a true Brazilian, but I'm also in my heart very British in many ways. And to see over the last 25 years I've been here, the progression of the society and how they accepted somebody like me, because I was, you know, just another foreigner. I couldn't speak the language, and I just came into this country thinking, right, I just want to learn your language and a bit more of your culture. And the way people treated me then and the way I'm treated now is actually very different. You know, I feel the acceptance a lot more now than I felt then. And I think it just shows the progression of time, you know, and that is a wonderful thing. I had no idea this was voted by the great British public. That is wonderful, because as you said, it just proves that things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and thank goodness that they are. And it's lovely to hear you speak the way you have about being accepted as part of our society here, because I think a lot of people struggle with that sense of acceptance. And to hear you speaking so confidently about it, and really genuinely feeling that you are part of this country is wonderful, because you are. I'm so pleased.
Do you feel, has it got better for you? You've been here 20 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny for Irish people, because I think a lot of times British people don't realise that if you're from Southern Ireland, you're from a different country altogether. People kind of assume that we're part of Great Britain, which isn't the case. I think, you know, I've had ups and downs with it. When I first moved here, and I was working in London at the time, and I was at a training course, and somebody referred to Irish terrorism with a little nod to me, and, you know, said, "Oh, your lot." So I had that, but I had some stuff around the time of the Brexit vote, which I think heightened a sense of difference, I think. But other than that, no, I feel very much part of my community here, and very much part of Camberley and Surrey Heath and Surrey, and yeah, I feel this is my home. And a little bit like you, I'm a very proud Irish woman, very, very proud most of the time. We'll get onto that in a minute, because my articles made me feel a little bit ashamed. But I think, you know, I will always be Irish, but I'm very, very settled here. And this is my home, without a shadow of a doubt, you know. I can't imagine being anywhere else. But I always still refer to Ireland as home. And I'm sure you do the same.
I do the same. I feel like I belong to so many places, you know. This is home. Brazil will always be home as well. So for me, it's just feeling part of something, no matter where you are. And I think that's a lot to do with the people you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with people who are accepting, you suddenly feel you belong. And then that's all it takes, you know. It doesn't need to be blood related. It doesn't need to be anything that extra special. People become, and suddenly you are. So it's wonderful.
God. I'm laughing, Abby, because I've just seen Jason. He said Lisa for mayor next in Surrey Heath. Right now, for anybody who isn't in Surrey Heath, and I'm sure quite a lot of you aren't, we at the moment have an extraordinary mayor in Sarah Jane Croke, who's a big supporter of Pride in Surrey. Politics for me, Jason, in that regard, I don't think it's for me.
Yeah. Lisa would never have the ability to make those pride shoes that Sarah Jane makes when she comes to our event. She sews coloured pom-poms onto her shoes, and she's got these Mayor Pride shoes.
Yeah.
Lisa wouldn't put that effort in. So, you know, maybe she's not right for me.
No, certainly not now. Can't imagine me with all that thing.
I'll come and bring all the stuff. You know, if you need any hairpiece, you know where to find one.
Well, there we go. Actually, maybe she should run for mayor then.
Maybe
there is a career in your future. Abby's going to help you with the outfits.
Well, if you or I were mayor, I was like the consort or whatever the mayor's person is.
If I was the mayor,
that'd be like consort. Yeah. And like a lesbian mayoral team. Brilliant. I think it's a great idea, Jason. Well done. You put it to the council next meeting.
No, Jason, no, don't do it, Jason. I'm being overrun here. Please, no, don't do it.
It's not that easy, guys. Don't worry.
No, it's really not that easy. Right. Okay. What have we got next?
So we've got my story next, which is one of those sort of something or nothing stories, really, but I want to comment on it because it annoyed me when I read it. And usually if an article makes me, I read so many articles every week trying to find something for this this show, but this one I read it and it immediately annoyed me, so I thought I'd talk about it.
Can I just interrupt you? I know I'm really mean to do this, right? Taking away the headline, look at that picture. Isn't that bottle brilliant?
Well, yes, but I'm about to whinge about Coke, so
yeah, but great bottle.
Other brands are available.
Yes, other soft drinks are available. Anyway, so Coca-Cola have they've got a website now, and they're allowing you to go on and customize your own bottle. So you can write anything you like, you know, your name or a little message or something like that on there. Now, bearing in mind this is to celebrate Pride, they have disallowed the word lesbian. So you can go in, you can have the word gay, you can have the word trans, you can have the word bi, you can put transphobic hate comments, you can put anti-gay rhetoric in there. But if you try and put lesbian on the bottle, it comes up with a big red flag saying, no, you can't have that. That defies our community standards, and you're not allowed to have a bottle that says lesbian.
It's surely an error, is it?
How can it be an error? When you're programming that, you're programming the words, and you know that you don't want it to say any of the swear words. You should also at that point be saying, I'm not going to allow these combinations of words, because you don't want to allow hate speech, but you're not allowing a valid section of the community to define themselves on your pride label. What do we think, gang?
Well, I'm just trialing this out, and yeah, you're right. It doesn't put the word lesbian, and it also doesn't put the word intersex in, which is quite funny.
Does it not?
Wow.
Part of the community. So, lot to be said there, Coca-Cola, considering it's supposed to be an inclusive thing. But is this just another case of a brand jumping on the bandwagon to profit significantly from the pink pound? And that is ultimately what it looks to be like.
So I don't know if they give money to LGBTQ charities. I think probably as a great big corporate, I'm sure that they must, because, you know, I think it is such a, you know, an important thing to do. And I think they'd be heavily criticised if they didn't. But this is just, did they issue a statement?
I'm not entirely sure. The thing is, right, these companies, they do this for Pride Month. They do this for Pride Month, and they change their, you know, logos to rainbows and stuff. But the rest of the year, where are they? The rest of the year, what are they doing for us? I can't see that Coca-Cola have issued a statement. No, because what they tend to do, these big corporates, is they actually tend to remain stum about these things, don't they? So... Coca-Cola have now come out and said that they plan to refine the feature, which isn't good enough, is it? Because that should have been ready to rock and roll the day they launched that, to appeal to the whole community. Because actually, I know a lot of people that just boycott that now because of that one error.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't bother. But yeah, I mean, a massive error, but an error of judgment on somebody's part there.
But the crazy thing, sorry to interrupt. The crazy thing is that they have, for what I understood, they have rectified some words, but lesbian is still restricted, even though it's being corrected, but it hasn't really. So some other words that they find offensive or not appropriate, whatever they call that. So it's very double standards, you know, and it's very convenient because it's there's a whole side of it that is to do with their image and how they want to be portrayed. So it's fashionable right now to be, you know, on the right side, to be pride, you know, in story, to be proud of who you are, to be, you know, LGBT everywhere in the world. Gone past this month and you don't hear all the faff about everything, then it's gone, and then they're moving on to something else, because it's, you know, they look into the profit that they can get out of it. So I get very annoyed with things like that.
Stephen, just before you say hello to Alan, because he's messaged to say hello. Go on, Steve.
Hello, Alan. Hey. Thanks for tuning in. Right, yeah, I've just obviously looking into this as we're doing the story. It does look like it works on just the Pride mode and not the other modes. So, for instance, the normal Coca-Cola mode, if you want to put the word lesbian, it just doesn't put it on there. You select Pride, and it does put it on there. Don't know why, not too sure, because some people might not want the rainbow. They might want the candles, or they might want party hats, or they might want the love heart. But you've only got one option, and it's the Rainbow Pride option that you can select at the moment to ensure it works. US flag
been amended since the article came out.
Yeah. And hello to Morgan, who's watching as well. He says, how hard is it to allow words immediately once the issue is raised?
This is the thing. It's such a huge multinational. It's not like they're a small company and they've got to wait for Sandra in accounts to get off the phone so she can press the button, right? They've got a dedicated team of computer mabobs that can do this within seconds. So they've waited, and then they've not made the correct adjustments, have they? But I'm willing to bet from what I read on the article that you can go in there and you can put some pretty nasty things in terms of sentences and some hate speech in there. And that'd be absolutely fine. Yet they've keep, you know, the word lesbian, isn't it? I could understand if they wouldn't allow like dyke. I can kind of get where they would be coming from with that, but lesbian is a really inoffensive word. It's just a term, isn't it?
First of all, I'm fine with dyke. I'm happy to be called a dyke. No problem with that. I'm also happy to be called queer, but I don't want a label that's a valid a valid word to describe a whole section of our community to be erased, because that's unacceptable. And it does feel like erasure. It definitely does. To me, anyway.
Love erasure.
I do love erasure as well, but all we're asking for is a little respect.
Oh,
That was good.
oh my.
You did line up.
So we had Lisa bursting into lyrics. What next, eh?
Just count yourself lucky it wasn't bursting into song. That's all I'll say.
We can do that later on in the show.
Oh, dear me. Right, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, Morgan says it's hardly inclusive if you can't do it in all the modes. It's right.
That's
absolutely right. So, Coca-Cola, 1 step forward, 2 steps back for you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you won't be getting my pink pounds.
Yeah, next time. Yes.
I'll just say, if you do want to get any LGBTQ plus merchandise, head over to surreyshop.co.uk and you can use the Pride code, Pride Month, to get 10% off. Look at that shameless plug. Charlie's going to love
that 10% off on Cook Along last night. I did do a plug for the shop, but I didn't mention the 10% discount. So that's well worth having. What's your favourite product of the week? Have you got product of the week this week? What are you loving?
A brand new octopus. There's an octopus with an eye mask and it unfolds and it goes around back. It's very, very nice. It's great. It's very lovely. And also the little tiny little octopus as well.
What about the duck pins?
The duck pins, I love them.
The duck pins are amazing, but they were my product of the week a couple of weeks ago. And Emma Goswell's book, absolutely fantastic. It flew out. We've got some more in. Go and buy it. It's absolutely brilliant. Coming out stories.
Yeah. And Emma's also amazing. You can check out an interview with her as well.
Absolutely. Good friend of Pride in Surrey, so support her. And also, it's worth noting that when you purchase things from the Surrey shop, you're not actually making rich people richer. You are putting money back into your community, and every penny goes back into helping our own, basically.
Yeah.
Steve hasn't got a Porsche, have you?
No.
I've got a flashing light. That's about it, really.
Oh, what?
A flashy light in the background. That's it. That's all.
A flashy light.
And a brilliant shirt. So you're winning.
And a smashing blouse.
Yes. Wonderful. Right. Okay. I think it's my turn now.
Right. Yeah. So your story.
I did say a little bit earlier that I'm a very proud Irish woman, and I really am. But this article I found really upsetting, right? So this is an article which is just going to come on the screen in a second about a church in a place in Dublin called Ballyfermot. And it's not too far from where I grew up. And the church, it's a Catholic church. And so they took a very, I think, brave step, really, in making a statement to members of their community who are LGBTQ+, to show that they are supportive. And you can see just the tip of the photograph there. And they flew the pride flag alongside the Irish national flag. Now, this triggered a whole heap of drama across Dublin and across the country, I think, as well. The church received a huge amount of complaints. They were plagued on social media. They had protests in the form of a rosary rally, would you believe, outside their church. Thankfully, in response, the community have got behind it, and the Ballyfermot, gosh, I'm going to get the name wrong, but an organisation in Dublin, they have some, they cover quite a lot of areas in Dublin. It's an anti-racism organisation, LGBTQ organisations as well, have all come together in solidarity to support the church in their desire to support the LGBTQ community. Now, unfortunately, the diocese has really stamped down on the church, and I think it's Father Egan at the church, and he's never going to be watching this, but I'm really proud of Father Egan because he has tried so hard to stand up to the diocese, but he has been trumped at the 11th hour by an archaic rule which has been thrown at him that says that only the Irish flag and papal flags may be flown on church premises. So he's been forced on a technicality to take down that pride flag. And I just think such a shame. So my 2 points: Father Egan, hero, brilliant. He wanted to do it. He wanted to support the community. The church, disaster. And those people who felt the need to send such hateful comments on the computer, first of all, right? So it's easy when you're behind a computer screen and you can bash out some words that are hateful and horrible, and you can do that somewhat anonymously and get away with it. But the people who turned up and protested outside the church I just find it, and protested in the name of God as well. I just found it absolutely appalling. And I know that if Reverend Mike was on here, he'd be having a fit, because there is no way that that is what God's intention for the world is. That hatefulness, that lack of love, that lack of empathy, that lack of understanding for fellow human beings, that is not what religion should be about. It's certainly not what the story of Jesus and the lessons in the Bible are about. The interpretation that churches have put upon it in so many cases are absolutely abysmal. Can you tell I'm getting cross about it?
Yeah, she's going to be stepping down from her massive horse in a minute.
I am sorry to rant on, but when I see so many really inclusive churches who welcome people from all walks of life, no matter who they are, no matter who they love, that is the way it should be. And here where we live, we're very, very fortunate. We've got a brilliant church in our community led by a brilliant Reverend Mike Thomason, who's a great friend of Pride in Surrey. He's been a guest on here many times. And his church, I can't tell you, I don't know how to describe to you. He lights the church up in Pride colours. He lights the church up in red for World AIDS Day. He opens his door to us. He allowed us to put a big, massive, great big rainbow Christmas tree up in his front window of his church a couple of years ago.
He sent me a WhatsApp last week, and he's bought himself a rainbow waistcoat and dicky bow to wear to Pride. Inclusive man of God.
But I have to say, he is one of very many in Surrey. We're very lucky. We've got lots of very accepting churches, and a lot of churches that are branded inclusive churches. But yes, this one I just find, it's that free expression of what I deem to be hate to be very difficult to deal with. What do you think? I mean, Abby.
Yes.
You're from something to say on this one.
Sorry, it cut off for a second. Ask me again.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I just said that you're from a predominantly Catholic country, so I'm sure that you've got something to say.
Yes, well, Brazil is interesting because we are a contrast of very colorful religions, even though there is a huge amount of Catholics. There is also a great amount these days, probably greater if I'm not sure, but it's just widening every day of evangelics. And so they are incredibly, I don't want to use the wrong word, but I'd say narrow-minded might be one, conservative maybe. And they have been very against anything to do with what it's beyond their comprehension. And it clearly seems that the LGBT community is beyond their comprehension. And so there is a lot of clash at the moment because our president is, he's a questionable man when it comes to that. He hasn't supported the community at all. If anything, he has made comments that are completely inappropriate. And so that only gives them, the evangelics and some Catholics, the power to express their hatred. And I think that is absolutely unacceptable. But unfortunately, when you're not informed and that's what you grow up with, that's what you know. And that's why I love talking to people, because the thing is, it's really wonderful to hear people who are completely against your thought, because then you try to comprehend what crosses their mind to think that way. And somehow you can try and show your opinion and open their minds for an idea. You might not change their views, but you can somehow have a positive discussion. And I think this is how you slowly but surely start changing things. But in Brazil, it is a big issue. That actor who passed away recently, he has been a massive driving force towards acceptance. And so many others came out around the same time and are very much, holding the flag and being open about it. And that has, I think, helped society there a lot. But religion hasn't, unfortunately, helped in any way, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Steve, have you got anything to add?
I'm more of a spiritualist. I'm not really. I don't really have much to say on the word of God and talking about religion, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, I've been brought up to respect everybody and respect everybody the same way, and just appreciate that people have different views and different values, you know. And at the end of the day, a flag should be able to be hung and wherever they want it to be hung. It's like recently the Union flag. There's been lots of criticism over that, and apparently it's too political now, that lots of councils around the country have stopped residents from hanging the Union flag. You know, a flag is just a visible symbol for whomever they're flying it for, right? Actions that speak louder than that flag. And of course, we've just got to remember that Pride is all about acceptance. It's about equity and equality, and it's about saying, whoever you are, this is a place for you that's safe. And if they're hanging it on their church, that should be the message that's portrayed out in the community. So then to be greeted by people that are going to stand outside and disrupt that, absolutely terrible. But yeah, don't take any notice if anybody does whinge at you because you've got a Pride flag or any flag in your garden. Just say to them, actions speak louder than words. You know, it's about acceptance, and it's just about saying you are who you are, and love is love.
And fair play to Father Egan, and I'm sure that he will continue every day to open the doors of that church with a welcoming heart for all members of his community, and I think that that's a great thing. And I must say, this story is an isolated one, really. Ireland is really progressive and has come a huge way, and I'm really chuffed. I saw a photograph on social media of the gates into the Guinness Brewery all painted in rainbow for Pride Month.
This is it's baby steps, you know, and there might be
there'll always be one
priests from small churches like that you know, making the effort, but they are the baby steps. They are the steps that go towards change. And when people are brave enough to make a stand, people do stand up and listen. It does prick people's ears, and you know, real change comes around from, you know, the everyday people, you know, speaking up, doesn't it? So,
and those actions of flying a flag in solidarity really mean thing. Like, they're really meaningful, aren't they, for members of our community?
Yeah, and even if that's just touched one person in that community to know that he can now go and speak to Father Egan, then rock on.
Winning. Right, what's next, my love?
Word of the week.
Great, you ready?
Are we ready?
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
Do that again. Please do that again.
Do you really want it again?
Do you really? Sure.
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
We had Aaron Bell on last week, and I said to him, Aaron, will you ever just do us another jingle for that? And he was like, no, it's a brilliant jingle. I think he was just trying to be very kind. It's awful.
No, I love it. Do you know what makes it so good? The fact that it's so awful.
Tuneless. Right, okay, what is it?
Your word of the week, my darling, you picked it.
Okay, so do you like it? Are you ready? I'll pronounce it for you. It's Laodicean. Laodicean. Oh, sorry, guys, you're blocked out. So it means half-hearted or indifferent, especially with respect to religion or politics. And I just thought it was a little bit ironic, considering that I don't think that any of us could be described as being half-hearted or without opinion when it comes to issues.
Can you say it, Abby? Can you say the word?
No.
Are you ready?
You were like, what?
I can't say that. I was trying quietly here, but I thought, no, I won't even go there.
Let me make the computer say it for you. One sec.
Okay.
Laodicean.
Okay, I can do that.
Laodicean.
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 Yeah!
Oh my God. I was just trying to think, is it going to sound anything that shouldn't?
No.
She
hasn't
set you up at all.
No.
I was wondering though. So I thought, is there a catch? No, there isn't. Thank God.
No, it was a completely different word. But we could have, if we'd put some real thought into it, we could have found a word that would trip all of us up.
Just wait till next time, Abby.
Wait till we're not doing it live.
Thank you. You've been kind to me. I appreciate that.
Doesn't it sound really regal, like Laodicean?
Do you know what? I've still got, right, last time Steve was on and he gave us this, but I've still got it here. Let's have a look.
Go on then.
Flotchinork impilification.
You don't run out of time.
Do it again.
Flexicolical. Pillowcation.
There you go. Flux-in-ocean pilification.
Sounds like an Irish word to me. It does.
Just like the Irish word, like egg.
No, it sounded something really strange to me. Penification. That's all I could hear at the end. That's not good.
It's the only bit any of us can say. So.
No, it's bad.
No, it's pilification.
No, you're missing out. Oh, you're missing out.
Fluxin housing, pilification.
Fluxin housing,
pilification.
Check her out, eh?
No.
It is Irish for egg.
It's not.
It's not.
Oh. So what is it?
To describe something that's valueless, or to value something without value, something like that.
Flux-in-ocean, pilifications on toast.
You always
That's that one.
Don't get too excited. Right, anyway,
pilification.
Flux-in-housing, silifilification.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do.
On toast.
I'm not sure if it's right, but I'm winning.
Well,
Right.
I'm being told by somebody actually that it's incorrect. Hang on.
Oh,
Somebody's on the other line. I don't know if I can just hear the. Oh, no, I can't hear the words. I'm being told no, it's wrong, but I can see him. But no, he's too shy. Apparently, we're saying it wrong.
oh, okay. Well,
I'll find
I would love to be corrected because I do want to master this word. So yeah, just send them my way.
Who would be able to say this word?
Who?
Google.
John T.
Oh.
John T from Marlow.
Oh.
He would know. He's an English teacher in a small primary school. He's been nominated by his husband, Graham. Isn't he a hunk?
He's so cute. He's so cute. Right. Well, this is where we have to do sort of a radio description for people who are listening to us on the Proud Show and on Surrey Hills Radio. So he's proper fluffy, except around his face where he's just nice and nicely shaven. He's got ears that are flopping down under a hat. What kind of hat would you describe
It's a
that
fedora.
as? A black fedora hat. He looks like he's in the mountains on some rocky hillside
He's hiking
somewhere.
on a Sunday.
But yeah, he looks quite distinguished, but serious yet,
Well, he's an English teacher.
Yeah. He looks a bit arty. Yes.
Yeah.
Like him a lot.
It looks like he's got like Botox or something.
Oh, no, you're saying John had work done.
He might have.
Yeah.
Grey as they call it.
Oh, I'm not having that.
Well, I reckon it looks a bit balmy.
Ah, very good.
The Goat's Bar.
Bah humbug, I would say. Need to say hello to DBA Mechanics who've been watching us this evening. Hello, everybody there. And yeah.
Thanks for your order as well. Thanks for your order on Pride Shop. They ordered some bits.
Well, thank you very much, DBA
Excellent.
Mechanics.
Thank you for your custom.
Yeah.
Your money will go towards helping the community greatly.
Steve, would you like to, before we wrap it up, give us a quick rundown on all the exciting things happening in the Pride calendar this summer?
Yes, we have the wonderful Pride on the Road, which is happening on the 16th and 17th of July. And that is
18th.
16th, 17th and 18th. Yes, you're right. And we're going to be travelling all around the wonderful Surrey. So please do keep a lookout on our website, prideinsurrey.org/events. Also, this year, we've got Pride at Shinefest. Pride at Shinefest is on the 11th of September at shinefest.uk. If you want to find out more information about that and get your tickets for that, we're going to be there with a little bit of a stage, having a bit of a party, and of course selling all our merchandise and being all inclusive for you over there as well. And then finally, well, not finally, because we will have another event after this, but we will have our main event first. Let's get that out of the way. And as you'll see on the website, we've got a little bit of an Arnie quote. We're back, baby. Join us on the 25th of September for Pride Parade through the picturesque streets of the old market town of Godalming. And everyone's asking me, why Godalming? Well, Godalming is a fantastic town. It's very, very widespread. We're taking over literally the whole town, which means that we can, no matter what guidelines are in place, have a safe, amazing event involving local businesses. And it was all about making sure that we remind you that there has been a challenge in 15 months. Many businesses have had to close or make significant changes to the way that they operate. This is our nod to them, especially in that area that had a big struggle, because obviously it does rely heavily on tourism. So yeah, come and join us. You can literally get your Pride Pass at prideinsurrey.org, and there's simply a minimal donation to come and join us on the day.
And I have to say about Godalming, I've been to another event in Godalming in the same area that we're going to be holding ours, the same green space, and fabulous.
Gorgeous.
It's a beautiful place and just a lovely vibe about the place. And I think it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be one you don't want to miss. Get your event passes now.
Yeah, and you know, I've got a little bit of an inside information about some of the acts that we can expect. We're not announcing them yet, but you're going to be happy. You got a lot of our viewers are going to be happy.
I'm happy.
I'm really happy. So it's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. So make sure you do get those passes, as Steve says, and watch out for the route. When are we announcing that route, Steve? Is it the weekend or?
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Just keep a look out on our website. We're going to be looking for volunteers. We're going to be asking you to get involved if you can. Just check out our website. Keep checking out the site. It's always updating. We are open now for Pride stall holders. If you want to be a stall holder, if you've got something to sell, something to showcase, if you're a local charity or organisation, then you can book a stall.
Yes, and if you'd like to sponsor us, get in touch. We have some really brilliant sponsors on board already. So if you would like to be part of that, you know where to find us.
Of course, and we're obviously here because of Surrey County Council and the wonderful support of them, recognising the intersectionality amongst the community and recognising that nobody should be left behind. That's their quote for the year. And of course, we have to say it. But also, don't forget the Surrey Shop, surreyshop.co.uk.
Yeah. That's it.
Can I do one quick shout out to Surrey Libraries, because I've seen lots of stuff on their social media about the Pride collections that they have been spotlighting in the libraries at the moment. So if you're a member of your local library and you feel like checking out some queer literature, please just go in. They've got some really, really good selections, as do we in our Pride shop. But if you're a frequenter of your library, please do go and have a little look.
Always helps if I put the word up there. Sorry, cc.gov.uk/library.
Fantastic, Stephen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. I think we didn't mess it up too bad for a live episode. What do you reckon?
I do like it live, you know.
I like it live,
I like chatting to people, so it's good.
Yeah.
Yes, nice and natural. And if you make a mistake, you just keep going and smile.
Do you know, we
away.
keep going anyway. We never, ever, ever have edited a Muse on the news.
We never edit it. No.
But people can probably tell.
Yes.
But we enjoy it.
Do you know what? This is our 30th episode.
Already.
After 30 episodes, we still haven't got any better.
I think we're doing a reasonably good job, and and look, Jason has just commented to say it was a great show, and Jason would know.
Would know. He's a wonderful.
Well, I can say this week I've been watching the launch couple of weeks for GB News, and actually we're doing a lot better than GB News. Their guests come on, they drop out halfway through, they have sound issues, they have camera issues, blurring, all sorts, and it's just been hilarious for them. If you've got a chance, go and watch them, because it's literally, it's not GB News, it's literally comedy views. It's hilarious. So this is much better. This is the place to come for the latest news and gossip. Hello, Craig, and hello, Jason.
Think about 4 very specific news stories. Come to us.
Craig has just said we did a great job.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
Yeah, it's nice. It's always nice to get feedback.
We're getting you on, Craig.
One of these weeks.
We've been saying it.
No pressure.
I believe, yes.
No
pressure.
Do what I do and just say, Craig, I need some help. Can you come to this link, please? And tell him it's a Zoom. And then he pops on.
No, you've done that to him before, and he knows better now.
Yes.
Oh.
Right. Thanks to everybody for watching this evening. It's been lovely to be with you live. And thank you very much, Abby and Steve, for joining us. Who's with us next week?
We don't know yet.
I think it's probably Morgan and Aaron.
I think. Lovely boys.
Yeah, we like that pair.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, Abby.
Pleasure as always.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you all the next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye-bye.